Section 1 of Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 1. Upon a dimpled dawn a year ago, I sang a little lyric anxiously, and down the world I sent its fragile plea, more out of courage than unconquered woe. You, listening all the ages for the flow of that one song, caught its wild note, and free and full sang back such melody to me. My soul awoke and made the morning glow. And now I love you, and I bring you here, simple and pure, the songs of my own heart, and flowers of fancy from my wakening mind, which have been yours through all this wondrous year. Ah, take them, love, not for their little art, but for myself, which in them I have twined. End of section 1.
Section 2 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. Sonnet 2. I was alone in a deep dell of dew, wandering, forlorn of hope and comfort here. My several sins weighed death and sorrow near, and doubt her darkling curtains round me drew. So tremulous with pain my senses grew, I sent a little prayer to God in fear, saying, My Father, whom I still hold dear, shrive a poor sinner that her follies slew. And suddenly the dell broke into flowers, the gloomy grove bloomed hyaline and fair, and through the scented silence rose a dove, crooning soft songs along the quiet bowers. I thought 'twas peace that beat the azure air, but from its pearly pinions lighted love. End of section 2. Section 3 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. Sonnet 3. When first I whispered in your wandering ear, I worship you, God smiled through all his skies, flinging a starry challenge in surprise. Wilt thou have heaven or him? O holy seer, I answered, give me him. Then, tier on tier, the cherub choir that sang above the rise of amber air beneath our Father's eyes, shouted a song of praise down all the sphere. For there is neither death nor life in love, and God, whose finger guides eternity, lights paradise with parapets of fire, o'er which he leans his vasty form above, and, looking through his hills on you and me, feeds heaven upon the flame of our desire. End of section 3.
Section 4. Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Sonnet 4. Ah, let me string my lute of love for you, with threads of that fine feeling you adore, 5 threads of fire and 5 of chastened law. I culled from a red rose adorned with dew, so shall I sit and sing the summer through, and, like a song too sweet for singing, pour my heart out to its passionate full core, that you may know how strong I am, how true. As a bird, singing over distant hills, to a far mate remoter than the skies, sudden upon a night of splendor feels him wake to the great love her being fills, so I behold the passion in your eyes, and a long languor o'er my body steals. End of section 4.
Sonnet 5 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. I give myself to you to do whate'er you will with what is yours. This little hand, this cheek, this breast, are but a flowery land where your 2 lips may pluck a garland fair. I'd have you take a rose from here, from there a sprig of jasmine, white and passion fanned, and drop the precious wreath when I demand upon the stream of my dark falling hair. For I account you dearer than all men, and bring my beauty to your waiting feet, as a young virgin her demure desire unto the white shrine of her God again. For well I know our two wild souls will meet in rich incense of kisses chaste as fire. End of Sonnet 5. Section 6 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. Sonnet 6. And, while I trembled by your side, one came on wings of wisdom, saying, I will show you where the porticos of learning glow, and gardens heavy with the mead of fame. I slipped my fingers through your hair, and flame of passion stung them, till the quiet snow of their pale tapers pained me like a blow, and over you I poured your own dear name. For here, where roses through the lattice twine, and odorous white lilies live and die, casting their magic over you and me, that fame which haply may be yours and mine is drowned in love that musters in its sigh the rushing rhythm of eternity. End of section 6.
Section 7, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 7. Adventure whispered, come, set sail with me upon a sea unfathomed of delight, where, through the painted paradise of night, full argosies of pleasure roll in glee. I'll give you pearls and precious spicery, and filming Afric gauzes wove with light, dim Persian perfumes and the smell of white, wild sea foam from a wistful southern sea. I looked into your eyes, and, in their deep, beheld the countless countries of the earth, far lands of fragrance and the turquoise drip of sunny rivers where green willows sleep. All dreams, all dear delights have raptured birth, where stars from your pure eyes their courage sip. End of section 7.
Section 8 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. Sonnet 8. Had I the power of high-browed Jove, I'd build a lotus land of love for you, and sit all day singing such songs that birds would flit from heaven to drink the music I distilled. And, as the rolling sweetness rose and filled the flowery forest till the silence split in folds of melody our passions lit, I'd make you monarch ere the tempest stilled. And when you walked, the flowers would turn and bow, and tall trees bend their bough in fealty, and every little bird sing true and well, because you wore love's crown upon your brow, ruling with you such magic territory, like angels in an Eden we would dwell. End of section 8.
Section 9, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 9. Poor pale Philosophy lifted her eyes to mine across the midnight dusk, and said, you and your poet dream on love's white bed, and drown eternity in your frail sighs. I hold the secret of the night. Arise, and come with me and meet the wondrous dead. I guard the garden where the blue winds wed, sun, stars, and moon in one great paradise. I looked upon her lean, sad countenance. I touched her musty books and turned away, to meet your eyes, beloved, and to smile. Philosophy is but the mind's romance. The bud of night can only blossom day, but our love blooms in Eden all the while. End of section 9.
Section 10 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. Sonnet 10. I know a violet bed where we may lie beneath the shady alleys of the air, where Venus holds Adonis by the hair and drains his sweetness till he fain would die. Creep out tonight with me, and you and I will merge in ecstasies of hunger there, my body moist on yours, and not a care to court the passage of a pallid sigh. O love, O life, I lie upon your breast, I swoon with longing on your smiling mouth. O poet prince, my senses ache and pine. Come, drink me as the living wine and best, and, when your lips have languished to a drouth, I'll wet them, tingling, till they melt in mine. End of section 10.
Section 11, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 11. Your brows are like a veil in Thessaly, where tall brown pines reach to a turquoise sky, and I, amongst the shadows, seem to lie. Feeling the warm, sweet leaves flow over me, your hair is all the woods of Arcady, where nymph and satyr in the grasses sigh, and every phantom wind that passes by rustles the golden reeds to melody. And you are mine, all of you is mine, arms, hands, and feet, and burning brow and hair. Sometimes I think that Jove, in ruth of earth, looked round his throng of gods in veils divine, and seeing you, how fine you were and fair, sent you to me to show me heaven's worth. End of section 11. Section 12 of Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 12. I find it in your lips and in your eyes, I find it in the footfalls that you leave Upon my floor, from which my fancies weave dreams of diviner realms than summer skies. I find it with a sweet and wild surprise, when your warm finger, like a breath of eve, lies on my breast or on my silken sleeve. I find it when you speak and silence dies. And if God kisses me some starry night, and leads me to the lip of other shores, where there is neither hate nor love, may be, I know, through shadows of the filmy light, that round the battlements of heaven pours, I'll find you, God and heaven and all to me. End of section 12.
Sonnet 13, from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. I was beguiled by dreams for many years, listening to those who came in your sweet name, close clouded churls who fed my blood with flame and courted me through troubled tides of tears. So passion, masked in scarlet to the ears, drew me upon his knee with awful aim, bruising the blossoms of my breasts with shame, while I cut courage with the devil's shears. O love, had you not found me that lone night, when passion gnawed me with his thundering ire, I might have slept upon the bed of hell, deep buried in the murk of mad delight. Oh, kiss me, or, till through love's lyre I hear the long thrill of our wedding bell. End of Sonnet 13.
Section 14, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 14. How have I thirsted all my life to stay the perfect passion of a love like yours, to give myself unto my very cause, and spread love's banquet on a sunny day. You faint upon my heart, your fingers play about my body till a fountain pours rich amber anguish down its satin floors. I drink and drink until I reel and sway, as some poor traveller athirst for days in desert lands upon a clear stream comes, and drinks, nor ever seems to get his fill, so oh let me pause and sing my praise, ere through my limbs this loving rapture hums, and brims my senses till they overspill. End of section 14.
Sonnet 15, from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. And now that you have given me all this, what, my beloved, can I give to you? My heart, my mind, my body dipped in dew of love? 'Twere not enough. Take kiss on kiss. Oh, would my lips could fill you with such bliss! Your soul would flutter through its lids of blue, and, meeting mine, its holy odor strew above the chasm where our passions hiss. Oh, press your eyelids closer, love, on mine. Bend back my slender body, lean o'er me. While yet a swimming vapor shades our eyes, and darkness drinks with us a draught divine, I am your own, O sting of ecstasy! Our married breasts sleep, smothered in their sighs. End of Sonnet 15.
Section 16, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 16. Love, you have brought to me my perfect soul, more sweet than earthly things, more precious rare, hiding its fragrance in my loosened hair, and folding up my body like a scroll. Oh, lie with me all night, and let the roll of rapture's waves wash over us, as, bare of anything save love, we haply share the joys of our first parents' chaste control. My love, my piece of heaven God has spilled upon my outstretched hands, oh, kiss me yet. Here, lying close to you, I feel, I know, my being even now is charged and filled with light and bliss it never shall forget, though eons over my cold corpse shall flow. End of section 16. Section 17, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 17. Beloved, lest I should remember, I must swift forget the wonder of last night. Hot memory would but blacken out my sight, and dull my senses till they seemed to die. How could I live, remembering that sigh, that breath, that sob, that all sublime delight? Eternal joy is death, I think, and might not such sweet madness kill me coming nigh? I died with you that hour, or, if not merged myself in you, commingling all my life within your own until I fled and fled into your blood, and my pure pulses surged, heaped with the wedded bliss of man and wife. Dying I lived, and living I was dead. End of section 17. Section 18, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 18. Oh, core of me, my love, what is this joy that moves our minds to rapture, and our lips to load each other's with such balmy sips? All heaven within our kisses seem to cloy. What is this red, ripe life, this love alloy, that fires our bodies and in fervour drips a thrill divine even to our finger-tips, rich with the longings that the gods enjoy? I cannot tell, however much we kiss. I can but love, and love you till I seem caught in the floating force that nature weaves, and, lying close to you, I drink that bliss that Psyche knew when, through her rosy dream, she smelt the wings of Cupid part the leaves. End of section 18.
Section 19, from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. Sonnet 19. You made of this great world a little bed of blossoms. We two sowed together sweet moon herbs and sun sprays, bordered round complete with grasses of soft shadows brown and red. Here lilac love to innocence was wed. There youth held beauty by the jasmine feet, and truth and purity their tapers beat above each pink and lily pallid head. Ah, love, I plucked a rose to-day, which now with me awaits your coming to this lea, lying amid the daisies, half in swoon, as if it felt upon its perfumed brow the laughing bliss that you will bring to me when your hot kisses flood me like full noon. End of section 19.
Section 20, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 20. Love, love, it dies. The fragile petals droop, but deep within me dips the dying scent, brimming my mind with love and love's intent, and all my senses to their souls bring troop. Beloved, soft in dream I idly loop the gracious bud within my hair, and, pent with passion, watch the fiery firmament scatter the crowding stars in chain and group. Now you are here, your body on my own. Smother me all with heaven this perfect night. Press closer to my heart, I would forget. This rose and I must scent another's own. I love you so. Would love were all delight. To live, to die, like this, till all suns set. End of section 20. Section 21, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 21. If there should be a moon above the hill, tonight dip down with me into the sea of our first passion, and with naked glee breathe its ripe wonder to our being's fill. Oh, as the moonbeams on the violets spill rivers of uncontrolled felicity, we'll tune our bodies to a melody, and set our pulses to a poet's thrill. Love, love, your hot lips tremble on my eyes, you droop, you swoon in silence over me. Heaven out of yours my very eyelids sup, the stars are running out of paradise. I languish, perfumed with expectancy. Beloved, kiss me, for the moon is up. End of section 21. Section 22 of Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 22. Seek not, my dearest, e'er to separate me from my body, for we twain are one, part of the unseen cycle of the sun, that fires all mind and matter, small and great. Out of this shell of clay I brought you late. You drew my soul, and scarce its life begun, when lo, it woos you swift as levins run, through pulse and body as its chosen mate. And now I know that, while I have been here, I have been yours, body and mind and soul, and meeting as two planets, breathless, still, we melt within each other without fear, widening our wisdom till in joint control we link our love to the Almighty's will. End of section 22. Section 23, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 23. Were I a bird upon the greenest tree, carolling cadences of love for you, I'd trill such songs along the golden dew, that Pan, soft piping on a reed of glee, in cool crest coverts by the lilting sea, would leave his pastures to a satyr crew, and, running barefoot all the forest through, marry his longings to the minstrelsy. O love, lean down, no bird sang on like this, through lips untutored to a pipe or lyre. Our passions breathe their own wild harmony, and pour out music at a clinging kiss. Sing on, O soul, our lyric of desire, for God himself is in the melody. End of section 23.
Section 24 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. Sonnet 24. I'll be whate'er you wish, a bird, a flower, gathering through crystal rivers of the air, moods of the moon and starry spices fair, to shed them over you from hour to hour. I'll be a little slave without a dower, sitting submissive on your palace stair, until you lift me up and bid me wear jewels of ecstasy and share your power. I could not be a woman and refuse aught of your wishings, O my soul's delight. I could not love you and desire not this, that unto me your least thought may transfuse all that in you most needs me day and night. In this alone shall I know fullest bliss. End of section 24.
Section 25, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 25. I know no miracle so manifest as that you wrought upon me yesterday, filling with love my chalice of pure clay, from fragrant fountains of your own dear breast. Beaten and sad with aching eyes I pressed close unto you, and as my body lay, broken with pain and grief, you murmured, Stay, I am the deathless end of all your quest. I lifted up my bowed and weeping head, borrowing comfort from your arms and eyes. I felt your lips long clinging to my own, and knew the best of me was not all dead. I, who had fallen out of paradise, was placed by you upon my rightful throne. End of section 25.
Sonnet 26, from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. O my beloved, when today you said, all this must perish, and we too will go, soulless and senseless, to the dust below, I could but smile and fondle your dear head. I could but catch your fingers as they fled over my throbbing breasts, and whisper low, Whence came this beast to lure your fingers' flow, these burning pulses leaping passion fed? Dearest, you had no answer, but your blood, drawing from mine the primal fires of God, leapt, laughed, and shouted, panting into mine, Love, love is all, and sweeps in mighty flood minds, souls, and bodies from the nameless sod exultant to the feet of the divine. End of Sonnet 26. Section 27, from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. Sonnet 27. You call me wife. Ah, sweetest name and dear, mother of honor and true chastity, breathing a lyric odor over me as if a poet drew me to his sphere. You drop its music on my listening ear. You lull my rest with songs from its pure sea, and lilt its measures of divine decree into my body when you hold me near. O love, my love, come nearer to my breast. You are my poet, and your kisses press into my soul celestial chords of fire. Come nearer yet. Oh, let your spirit rest gently on mine in holiest caress. We sleep, we dream, dissolved in our desire. End of section 27.
Section 28, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 28. Give me a child, dear heart, we have loved long, draining each other's sweetness to the last, wild drops of honeyed madness falling fast upon our lips in ecstasies of song. More love, we cried, more and still more and strong, and fierce the tide of passion filled the vast immeasured space of our desire, and cast us breathless to the realms the white gods throng. My poet, let the tempest rise once more, until from spirit out of spirit wise and free we draw our own youth back again, my dimpled chin your eyes, and learn the law of everlasting life and all emprise from the sweet child that comes to us through pain. End of section 28. Section 29, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 29. Dearest, there is no part of us but air, and earth our counterparts, your fragrant eyes touching my own, some essence of the skies, instilled therein, and all your warm brown hair smells of the sun's slow passion, fine and fair. I cannot touch your hands, but I surprise some element of summer, and the sighs of stars from your red lips I seem to share. O love, 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 dearer than God to me, earth of the earth are we, and light of light, God born, God breathing, all our scented souls in death shall glow, gladdening eternity. So give me love, all love, this perfect night, as round our naked limbs its full fire rolls. End of section 29.
Section 30, from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. Sonnet 30. Ah, love, back to realities we rush over each lidless dream as boys to play. Fancies and thoughts may blossom any day, but youth has only once her early flush. Age trammels us, and all her threshers crush passion, delight, and beauty into clay. Time broods upon the bosom of the bay, holding his finger with an ancient hush. So, while we are both young, while my breasts swell tingling to you, and life is mostly fire, warm blood and warmer throb of pulse and kiss, strive not our happy passions to dispel. Love, love, until our bodies both transpire, for growing old, we must forswear such bliss. End of section 30.
Section 31. Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 31. We must look round upon our children dear, living through them this present and that past. Our eyes on future fields will then be cast, our thoughts on other worlds that know not fear. Haply we shall forget we e'er loved here, breathing through finer frames new hopes and vast, God leading us by spacious plains at last. We shall sail on to his clear hemisphere. Ah, put your arms about me closer now. Our wedded souls the very stars inspire. Your mouth's on mine, your limbs in mine I fold, scenting all Eden on your dewy brow. Love knows no age, eternal is her fire. Haply we shall love more when we are old. End of section 31. Section 32. Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 32. How foolish were the ancients, O my soul, who dreamed that death surmounted love like ours, and decked the marble mound with precious flowers, that laughed in lustrous lyrics at their dole, in poppied urn or antique beryl bowl. They burned incense to departed hours, thinking that nothing would renew the powers. Life left deserted at a finished goal. Love, love, there is no death for me and you. Swooning with aching tenderness we lie, each within each, breathing eternity. Kiss me to death, my poet, for the dew, mouthing our bodies to a scented sigh, will waft our souls to immortality. End of section 32. Section 33. Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 33. Ravish my mind as you have done my heart with that seductive fire of your great soul, and let my thoughts in close communion roll down life's wide sea on truth's unsullied chart. My singing senses quicken till they smart, my laughing blood thrills passion to its goal. So fit my mind as they from love's red bowl, whose sense of ecstasy first gave them start. O love, such wisdom should encompass me, my thought should blaze beyond the star-pricked night, piercing the wonders of a million spheres that roar for ever round eternity. And through the travail of their holy light, even God would feel our passion in his tears. End of section 33. Section 34, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 34. Oh, could I count the stars that steer the night, or chronicle the petals of all flowers, perchance my mind attuned to such high powers could make a record of my heart's sweet plight. I could outtell the loves your lips invite, the myriad sweets with which you heap the hours, suffusing all creation with the showers of thoughts and dreams your changing moods excite. Cold circumventive flattery may fill the empty annals of less loving men, or proud-eyed praise across their pages write the long red revels that their passions spill. But dipped in stars I could not trust my pen with flowers for words to tell your love's delight. End of section 34.
Section 35, from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. Sonnet 35. I cannot find a fault in you, and yet I think you are not perfect many ways. I have seen lips more meet for maiden praise, and eyes less shadowed with a gray regret. But pure perfection of your love has let the tenant mirrors of my mind such rays, all other men reflect a smoky haze, and in the murk their virtues I forget. He knows not perfect who has found the best, nor worth who would deny unworthiness. But meanest flowers are fair as any rose, when blowing fragrant to our least behest. So you are perfect in my heart no less, for that unworthiness my poor mind knows. End of section 35. Sonnet 36, from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. Sometimes I think my love controls my thought, and then my thought o'errules my love twofold. Each is subdued with the other's hold, and I, a slave, beneath both fetters caught. Thus will my thought today come, patience bought. Tomorrow reigns my love supreme and bold, and each departs as he himself grows old, leaving full beauty of the dreams he wrought. So does the sun drown out his life each day and still turn in the sky. So stars grow cold yet sparkle on, and so my love and thought, this one by day and that by night hold sway. Yet both by you are, maker-like, controlled, and, being otherwise, each should be naught. End of Sonnet 36. Sonnet 37, from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. I know not jealousy, save as pure zeal, to lure my love to stricter vigilance. Solicitous of you, I scorn no chance to grow suspicious of your daily wheel. Doubt is imagination's golden seal, and memory the lattice of romance. I am more jealous of the day's long glance than any memory of doubt I steal. Time only rivals me where'er you go, detaining you some white and lovesome hour. I most suspect the minutes that slow spill. But jealous of another woman? No. If you should choose to love a lovely flower, I could not love you, loved I not your will. End of Sonnet 37.
Section 38, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 38. Dearest, we die, we smother love in fears. When phantoms beckon where our lips decay, red worms deep fester all our fragrant clay, and silence shuts the sepulchre of tears, no longer singing for our rosy ears. Life's mad musicians blow the pipes of play, the sun spins sparkles for the dancing day, but we make dust for our forgotten beers. Your flower soft mouth tilts laughter at such lore. If death indeed could be so vile a dream, this golden life were treason unto God. Could he who showed us visions of that shore, where truth and beauty mellow in the gleam, leave that which saw them rotting in the sod? End of section 38. Section 39, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 39. We live, we know we live, our bodies feel. Warm, wild desires about our white limbs flee, and eyes drink passion from the eyes they see, as listening lovers hear their shadows steal. Life has been ours, such as life as wheel on wheel, of sunburnt youth and softened age set free, ambition's fire, love's eager revelry, the rose romance that old adventures reel. Red life has laughed from out the dark unknown, and drawn creation from a crumb of clay. With faces to the sun we leave the womb, stretching frail hands to make his fire our own. So when death darkens all the present way, shall larger suns allure us from the tomb. End of section 39. Section 40, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 40. Dearest, if you who are my all should die, vanish away from me and not return, I should out yearn the waves that churn and churn their troubled tides beneath a distant sky. I should grow cold and murmur sigh on sigh, till at my feet I spilled the fragrant urn of my sweet youth, where passion ceased to burn in those fair blossoms that your lips sipped dry. Dear heart, if you should leave me thus alone, I, by the lack of love, should die, forsooth. For my life should fill the vacant sea of your dear death with my eternal moan. So through the glory of my passing youth, you should live on while death remained with me. End of section 40.
Sonnet 41, from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. But should I go away and leave you, dear, and you, for me, moved lifelessly in pain, my living soul should fathom peace in vain, and, finding death in you, sob fullest fear. Then I should die again in heaven's still sphere, to hear the beating of your heart complain, and drift from paradise to earth again, and come to you and ease your every tear. Woman in man, dear, lives eternally, for through his scented clay she first felt light. Out of his ribs she drew her virgin breath, as I drew mine through you at love's decree. So, love, your life with mine cannot take flight, but mine must cease and melt into your death. End of Sonnet 41.
Section 42, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 42. My true mind makes as many loves of you as my full heart contentedly can hold, and when the one grows dull, the other cold, yet comes another swifter in to woo. I could not rue such changing retinue, nor chastise circumstance that keeps me bold. I make you young, or middle-aged, or old, just as it pleases my own whim to do. And then to counterbalance what you give, thus all unwittingly I smile or frown, and thoughtful, mirthful, grave, or sunny-eyed, to meet your mood and help you best to live. In me all women to your wish bow down, in you all men at my desire abide. End of section 42.
Sonnet 43, from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. Thus do our minds unto our bodies bring alluring attributes of all desire, until our hearts beat coupled up in fire that burns with some luxurious sweet sting. Sometimes we lie upon the breasts of spring as gods might lie, and when such joys transpire, we seek a cave and with a savage ire, as perfect animals we kiss and cling. For we are savages and gods as well, the heirs of earth and all the heavens hold. As long as clay encompasses our souls, all bygone ages in our present dwell. God were not man, whose passion died earth cold, and man, not God, who found them not fresh goals. End of Sonnet 43.
Section 44, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 44. Love is the sepulchre of all my sin, if it be sin to let the body sink, in that slow dying the sick senses drink, that ne'er have felt true love's delight rush in. Hot vice may sear the bloom of beauty's skin, polluting virtue with a painted wink, but love smiles lightly at such guilt, I think, and cures corruption ere her ills begin. I cannot tell the wonder of desire that flames my cheek when you are by my side, nor dare I speak the secret of that bliss that sets the senses of my soul on fire. Ah, love, all my sin vanished into pride when I drank heaven from your first pure kiss. End of section 44. Section 45, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. When my imagination swiftly stains the perplexed pinions of my busy mind, no longer solely to this shore confined, I skim with you hills, mountains, seas, and plains. On twinkling steeds we race with slackened reins, the spaceless caverns of the morning wind, and light, long kissing, in ourselves enshrined, where quiet night across the world complains. Two travellers with an earthen cruise we stray, along the lagging sands that burn and parch, a skin of wine, brown bread, and love to guide. We wander till the co-eternal day. Alone, uncharted with the stars we march, before us naught, behind the ebbing tide. End of section 45. Section 46, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 46. Or growing bolder as a king and queen, I dream we sit upon a throne of gold, breathing the soul of wisdom till we mould men into gods, and passing angels lean out of their spheres to look upon the green, contented coppices of wood and wold, resembling paradise as we two fold perpetual youth our happy hands between. At night the fall of fountains skipping white down stairs of turquoise to a sea of pearl mixes with lull of lutes and languid lyres, and thrills our senses to such long delight, our singing souls from out our bodies curl, and call each other to divine desires. End of section 46. Section 47, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 47. Oh, let us not too deeply think of life, lest thinking should bring knowledge. Knowledge, pain, imagination burns my crowded brain with runes and traceries of coming strife, discord and doubt and ruin's bloody knife, temptation gnashing evil's teeth again, and dreams of God and all things that seemed plain clash in the murk of discontentment rife. Life is with you and me, and love like ours, whatever time may tell the future fates, and through our love our souls may knit in one, heaven's earnest laws to earth's all heavened powers, till knocking at death's misty morning gates, we rush in, partners of the moon and sun. End of section 47.
Sonnet 48 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. This body that is mine sometimes nor seems nor is, so molded into one are heart and mind that either cannot breathe apart. Day only gathers up the fallen dreams of passing night and illuminates the streams with painted barges. But the busy mart my shut eyes blacken out. 'Tis then I start dreaming that through my mind creation teems. All life, all death, heaven and earth and hell, but likewise seem, since minds breed hopes and fears, and make and unmake knowledge bit by bit. Dear, without my mind, you are but the shell of some strange man, while in all men appears that which makes you my God because of it. End of Sonnet 48.
Section 49, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 49. In me there is a vast and lonely place, where none, not even you, have walked in sight, a wide, still vale of solitude and light, where silence echoes into ebbing space, and there I creep at times and hide my face, while in myself I fathom wrong and right, and all the timeless ages of the night, that sacred silence of my soul I pace. And when from there I come to you, love swift, my mouth hot edged with kisses fresh as wine, often I find your longings all asleep, and unresponsive from my grasp you drift. Ah, love, you too seek solitude like mine, and soul from soul the secret seems to keep. End of section 49. Section 50, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 50. Dear love, a spirit circumfuses all, a force creating everlasting fire, white reason singing to a mighty lyre, songs of eternity with earthly call. It moves, it strives, it lives in great and small, all natures through it to some end conspire. One calls it God, another heart's desire. We love because we move in her wise thrall. Men put themselves in what their minds create. This pen, this book, this poem breathes of souls who lived, who worked for some selected end. So God who made us lives in our poor state, through that great spirit which his mind controls, till his perfection with our own shall blend. End of section 50. Section 51, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 51. Dear love, why should we fear to die today? Who cannot tell which is the live, which dead? Who speak of death in whispers through the dread of fiery truth? Who blinds the groping way? Can he who breathes through us die with our clay, ending the atoms that his fire has fed? Ah, no, he knows not death nor time's cold bed, nor yet do we, who are his hope and stay. Without us what were God but unknown worth, who make his world, his heaven and his hell? Without him what were we but soulless force, who cannot say if heaven be heaven or earth? Ah, love, we change from timely knell to knell, but life lives on in God, who is our source. End of section 51. Section 52, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 52. We are not merely vessels for the wine of warm creation, nor receptacles. Of love our souls drink beauty at far other wells, while wisdom widens to a flame divine. Dearest, our bodies are not passion's shrine, nor lifeless compound of untutored cells. They hold our senses, and our mind compels their every motion to an end more fine. So do we rise, beloved, you and I, up from the earth to which our reasons cling, mounting the airy pathways of the night, when heaven's hosannas fill the flaming sky, and while our thoughts among the meadows sing, we with our God dissolve at last in light. End of section 52.
Section 53, from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. Sonnet 53. When from an ancient book we sat and read loves of old years in Thessaly and Thrace, how nymphs died swooning at a god's embrace, and beauty lured desire into her bed, we felt the fragrance of the love thus spread. We saw the shadows of the antique place, for out of thoughts imaginations trace the deathless pageant of the breathing dead. Time cannot age the mind's immortal youth, nor death entomb the living fire of thought. We lived their loves because their tales could cite the darling dreams of fancy feigning truth. And while we lived, what death of them had bought, they breathed and loved again in our delight. End of section 53.
Section 54, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 54. What have you more than I who crave you so? Have I not hands and feet and thoughts to tell all my sweet senses and fine dreams that swell, rich with contentments that the star winds blow? Yet do I need you everywhere I go, as if you held me in some stinging spell, and nothing living but yourself could quell the conscious longings that tumultuous flow. I am myself, and yet I cannot move hand, foot, or eye, but am drawn to you. I want you all, dreams, kisses, thoughts, and eyes. Dearest, it seems, my very wants would prove I am yourself, dreaming we measure two, and lack myself that which yourself supplies. End of section 54.
Sonnet 55, from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. When by the borders of a crowded place I watch the breathing multitude stream by, force driving force and action beating high, eternal movement merges into space. Then I can see no image of a face. Brown hair and black are mixed into the sky. I feel no motion save a gentle sigh, which dies dissolved and leaves no earthly trace. And as I join the crowd and pass along, purposed with love to give myself to you, I seem to float upon a mighty deep, dreaming some dream with all the dreaming throng, till, like a cloud upon a heaven of blue, I melt like mist into your soul and sleep. End of Sonnet 55. Section 56, from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. Sonnet 56. Where are the tears unnumbered I have shed? Have they returned again into my eyes, fading the flowers which you so proudly prize, or do they linger with the lonely dead? Perhaps soft-footed through the room they tread the velvet moments when my dreams arise, living the laughter of that pure surprise when you and I to rhapsody were wed. O love, I think they look at me tonight from every corner of my little room like pieces of myself that died for you before you gave me all your soul's delight. And in the quiet twilight of the tomb they will come back to me as memories do. End of section 56.
Section 57, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 57. Oh, let us not so load ourselves with joy that bliss becomes pure habit, and the fire of love, adultery, of dear desire. Though sense must labour in the mind's employ, lest thought should clog the cells wherein they cloy, do not untune love's little tender lyre with too much music till her songs expire, leaving the instrument a shattered toy. Rather as nature serves her God, love free, let me serve you with foison of spring rain, or winter frost which on the sweet earth lies, in gentle sleep of snowy chastity, so shall my senses loosen from my brain, at time's true will, your wells of paradise. End of section 57. Section 58, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Sonnet 58. Do not surcharge our souls with that vile blame to which our bodies are subjected here, nor heap them with the horror of dull fear, base borrowed from a life of torpid shame, but let them linger like a lovely flame above the clay to which they must cohere, lighting the earthly to the heavenly sphere, to meet the mystery from which they came. As midnight drinks a message from the moon, and morning takes her orders from the sun, so let our bodies to our souls submit, and live forever in their still high noon, where morn and midnight gather into one, and only angels on their missions flit. End of section 58.
Section 59 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. Sonnet 59. But, dear, what shall remain of you and me when we no longer pace the morning here? When time has soothed the last unloosened tear, and earth no more extends us charity? Nature, who loaned us youth and passion's glee, rose cheeks and laughing eyes and scorn of fear, shall come for them again some distant year, and, what she lent, full garner as her fee. But when some other man, some other maid wears your gray eyes and my rose cheeks' soft hue, will our strong loves outfill their fragile frames, and our large thoughts unto their minds give aid? Ah, no, for never man was loved as you, nor made as I, and such love heaven claims. End of section 59. Section 60 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. Sonnet 60. My mind and heart both love you utterly, and so each thought of mine is doubly yours, and all my will about your body pours scents of my blood and fires that flow from me. Who has created me so young, so free, eager today to close convention's doors, tomorrow to return and sweep the floors with my loose hair in blinding memory? Dearest, you have, who gave my heart such love, it sang the marriage of our mingling blood, sweeping us on in a supreme control to those vast stillnesses that move above, and in the wonder of its mighty flood, my mind drew God from your eternal soul. End of section 60.
Section 61 of Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. The Vision of Jehovah. What shall it profit if the nations rise, red from the sepulchres of hell distraught, lifting with sodden souls their bleeding eyes, stung with the vengeance of the sword they sought? What shall it profit these or other men, faltering, Father, to the cosmic sky, since this thy vow, vengeance is mine, amen? O Lord Jehovah, hear us, hear our cry. There rolled away the boltings from the door, and Lord Jehovah, very God of all, looked down upon the dumb earth's threshing floor, marking how death wove savagely her pall, and seasoned labour, loosed of thick desire, sat midst the ruins of her territory, while hope, her firstborn with young lips afire, plucked at her withered breasts in agony. Behold upon the right hand of the Lord the shuddering Christ with sin-remembering eyes, seeing like pallid moths the phantom horde of Christian martyrs and crusaders rise. Pierced with the peril of impassioned prayer, how in the red arena did they crowd, or on the holy place he died to spare, broidered with bloody thread their battle shroud. Left of the Lord, in tent ambrosial, Mohammed trembled at his peaceful shrine, even as Abdallah at that festival, when stooping o'er his fragrant bridal wine, one whispered of the virgin multitude, dead for the love of him so falsely fair, shivered and sought in pious interlude to drown forgetfulness in honest prayer. As in the blinding mid-light of the world, when out of chaos swung the scent of day, and from the loins of God the oceans swirled, he with what charity breathed o'er the clay, flame of his thought and passion of his mind, as in that hour when first he viewed his work, mute-eyed and grave he sorrowed for mankind, so now he anguished still, and all was murk. Murk where ambition in her muddied gown, robbed of her thaindom, begged for common arms. Murk where the swollen rivers glided down, art hid the festered shreds of her torn palms. Murk where in terror truth fled swift apart, seeing upon the floor where honour shone, greed with her blood-stained talons in her heart, plucking the soul of things to feast thereon. Then spake Jehovah in a voice of woe, and all the heavens vibrated with the sound. Adam, is this thy seed that grows so low, wrought in our image, rotting in the ground? Answered the prophets in a sad accord, Yea, till the heavens vanish like a scroll. Yea, till the wild beast heard unfearing, Lord. Yea, till the camel without pangs shall foal. Wrath was Jehovah at the spoken word, wrath as when Lucifer forever fell, weakening the nations as he fought and erred, venting his fury at the gates of hell. But through the depthless chasms of the air broke like a wail the voice of many men, and on the hills of heaven summoned there stood the archangel Gabriel again. Pity was his left wing, comfort his right, and at his back the hosts of heaven swarmed, looked to the reeling earth through veins of light, bowed to Jehovah, to his ire conformed, saw how he raised his living arms to smite nation on nation all the wide earth through, where o'er his wrath he heard that cry contrite, Father, forgive, they know not what they do. Jehovah stayed his mighty arm and wept, and lo, a vision followed, and he saw how from the golden west Olympus crept, by Zeus, the mind-made god, ruled as before, how sprang Yggdrasil on the filmy right, while Odin to Valhalla heroes led, last gleamed Westminster Abbey in the night, where men held sacred service for their dead. Like to an opal sunset when romance weaves her bright tapestry about the sea, and in each colour of the wide expanse flutters a leaf of ocean's history, battles and sunken galleys of renown, treasure of buccaneers and Viking horde, all in one rainbow radiance scattered down, so shone Olympus to the holy Lord. Banquet was spread upon the godly board, the festival of Aphrodite dawned, green as a burning emerald was the sward, where at the feet of Zeus the Muses fawned, drinking from bowls of pearl the nectar sweet, while cherubs fanned them with a palm of gold. Rose-bellied nymphs rolled in the budding wheat, satyrs about the clustering vines made bold. Then came the full-limbed goddess of the foam, led by Apollo through the lanes of light. Doves at her breathing flocked, and roses clomb over her footprints in the flame of flight. Fell all about the mellowed fruit of joy, as she the feastings honoured there above, till reeling Bacchus with his lips a-cloy sipped the slow wine drops from her breasts of love. The Lord Jehovah veiled his eyes with fire, but turned to rightward where Valhalla rose, turquoise the massive doors, the steps sapphire, the burnished floor 10,000 cameos, and to the gate of beryl boulder came, robed like the sun in saffron of the morn, seeing across the rainbow bridge of fame how into Asgard came the souls new-born. As bold Don Roderick at the strange tower stared, wondering how in Toledo magic wrought spires of such stateliness, and scarcely dared clash his brave stirrups there, but fearing naught, entered and found that which he long had sought, so stared each hero in a fixed amaze, as at Valhalla's halls his battle fought, entered he in to rest eternal days. Torn with the tempest of tremendous woe, Jehovah in the travail of his tears spake as when in the foremorn long ago dropped from his lips the language of the spheres. O Adam, Adam, was thy mind so base? What could it profit that I gave my son? But answered Westminster through Jesu's grace, Hallowed be thy name, thy will be done. The vision changed as watched the hosts on high, Valhalla and Olympus passed away, and in their places low men fought to die, caught in the reeking stench of rotting clay, matted their fragrant locks with smoking gore, horse, man, and priest shrieking in unity, hot from the steaming lust leap of red war, staining the portals of eternity. How o'er their mangled skulls the night dew fell, how through their dying limbs they prayed in vain, prayers that their clotted lips would never tell, sealed by the bleeding surcingle of pain, and as decay, life's swollen parasite, followed the harlot death from feast to feast, nowhere in all the ghastly world was light, save where Westminster glimmered in the east. There as the crimson-breasted battle jade wallowed in agony among the brave, mothers and sweethearts in the abbey prayed, kneeling in memory of the men they gave. Lighten our darkness, we beseech thee, Lord. Snatches of service floated thus to God, mingling with clinking echo of a sword, shocked in the tumult of a broken squad. And at the abbey door Cupidity, measuring her faith by wealth's divining rod, bent low to mock, but hearing suddenly, abate their pride, assuage their malice, God, turned from the holy place and fled afeared into war's arms where she will never die, but mouthed the thighs of hate with gall besmeared, and sucked the stinging lips of envy dry. Silenced with muffled breath late slept afield, drawing her nets of thought about her bed. Glutted with blood, war dropped his gory shield, nor sound nor sigh escaped the myriad dead, when from the abbey came the groan of men, the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God be with us evermore. Amen. Jehovah moaned and closed the doors above. What shall it profit then if nations fall? What merit, since we may not understand? For dawn came roguishly at time's faint call, looking with sleep-sweet eyes upon the land, and saw amidst the horror and the woe a Teuton and a Briton lying there, wound in each other's lifeless arms, and lo, facing each other in their dead despair. The lilting wind was rippling through their hair, the splashing sunlight dancing on their sleeves. A robin sniffed the blossom of the air, and sang to them of spring and rustling leaves. The dawn unrobed, and it was day again. There came no mourners to the solemn dead. The floating clouds brake into gentle rain. The silent skies unmoved swam overhead. End of section 61. Section 62, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. The New Moon. What have you got in your knapsack fair, white moon, bright moon, pearling the air, spinning your bobbins and fabrics free, fleet moon, sweet moon, into the sea, turquoise and beryl and rings of gold, clear moon, dear moon, ne'er to be sold, roses and lilies, romance and love, still moon, chill moon, swinging above, slender your feet as a white bird's throat, high moon, shy moon, drifting your boat into the murk of the world awhile, slim moon, dim moon, adding a smile. Tender your eyes as a maiden's kiss, fine moon, wine moon, no one knows this. Under the spell of your witchery, dream moon, cream moon, first he kissed me. End of section 62.
Section 63 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. The Poppy. The muffled bells of sleep toll drowsily as down the dim cathedral of the day. The scented censer of your life you sway, and all its sweetness scatter over me. Here, where I lie and watch the loveless bee wed flower with flower and go his singing way, the loose white winds amongst your petals play, whispering of Tempe and of Arcady. Dust breaks the bowl of day with soundless chink, and as its liquid jewels foam to flame, a rainbow ripple stains the sapphire sea. So, when death dreams upon your ruby brink, the fallen petals from your fragile frame color the waters of eternity. End of section 63. Section 64 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. Books. Oh, bury me in books when I am dead, fair quarto leaves of ivory and gold, and silk octavos bound in brown and red, that tales of love and chivalry unfold. Heap me in volumes of fine vellum wrought, creamed with the close content of silent speech. Wrap me in sapphire tapestries of thought, from some old epic out of common reach. I would my shroud were verse embroidered too, your verse for preference, in starry stitch, and powdered o'er with rhymes that poets woo, breathing dream lyrics in moon measures rich. Night holds me with a horror of the grave that knows not poetry, nor song, nor you, nor leaves of love that down the ages wave, romance and fire in burnished cloths of blue. Oh, bury me in books, and I'll not mind the cold, slow worms that coil round my head, since my lone soul may turn the page and find the lines you wrote to me when I am dead. End of section 64. Section 65 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. When I was 6. When I was only 6 years old, hi-ho for folly-o, I wandered in a fairy fold, high-holly to and fro. I rode upon a blossom's back, up hill and over sea, and all the little pixie pack for fun would follow me. Oh, golden was the gown I wore of buttercups in air, and 20 diamond stars or more were pinned upon my hair. All day I chased the laughing sky above the busy town, but when the moon unwinked her eye, ho, ho, I hurried down. And then within the baby's shoe I hid my lady's pearls, from maid to merry maid I flew and knotted all their curls. I pulled the preacher's saintly gown and lost his open page. I tickled out the withered frown of every sallow sage. And when the children were abed, I tapped the window pane and laughed as someone softly said, "Whist! Goblins there again." Ho, ho, I flitted here and there amid my elfin band, while on the green in frolic fair we tripped it hand in hand. As air and moonlight I was free within that fairy fold, for all the world belonged to me when I was 6 years old. End of section 65. Section 66 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. My Muse. My muse is a minx with a spell for a smile. She gallops a wagon of whims through the skies, and teasings capricious and pranks all the while she pours upon me who would sing to her eyes. She coaxes me on like a siren at play, then leaves me alone with a shadow to doze. As faithless as Venus, she flits with a fae, or marries her moods to the rim of a rose. I went to her house and I opened the door to peep at the exquisite corridors there, and thousands of dreams that were strewing the floor cried, "Constancy only can win the most fair." And so on her lily-white doorstep I wait, or wander away with my lover in glee. Now faithful, now fickle, I toy with my fate, for I am a maiden as willful as she. End of section 66.
Section 67 of Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Seascape. Slowly into the purple cup of night dusk pours the amber wine of daily prayer, and, as its fragrance scents these pools of light, the opal sea-buds blossom everywhere. Soon from her palms of fire the young moon shakes, pale rainbow jewels on the wet brown sand, while some chaste nymph her bath of sea-foam takes, where jade and green the round waves plunge to land. Then drowsy night her storied mantle lifts, as some red star-dirk slits the velvet fold, which, falling where the sea-maid lowly drifts, lights her slim corpse in eddies of pure gold. End of section 67. Section 68. Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. The Perfect Rhyme. Oh, to have lived in Sicily with you, and sweet Theocritus, when song was young, and every happy flower the morning swung was ripe with melody of odorous dew. There, beneath the boughs, you might have sung full true, with those rare voices grassy Etna flung down to a sea that lapped with lyric tongue. A singing shore enamoured of its blue. O love, I dream our married glances meet, our mouths make idylls all the gloaming through. Here o'er our heads the breathing blossoms twine, and couplets cluster at our naked feet. Nor ever poet since the first pipe blew dreamed such a rhyme as your lips make on mine. End of section 68.
Section 69, from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. Memory. Late, late last night, when the whole world slept, along to the garden of dreams I crept, and I pulled the bell of an old, old house where the moon dipped down like a little white mouse. I tapped the door and I tossed my head. "Are you in, little girl? Are you in?" I said. And while I waited and shook with cold, through the door tripped me, just 8 years old. I looked so sweet with my pigtails down, tied up with a ribbon of dusky brown, with a dimpled chin full of childish charms, and my old black dolly asleep in my arms. I sat me down when I saw myself, and I told little tales of a moonland elf. I laughed and sang as I used to do when the world was ruled by Little Boy Blue. Then up I danced with a toss and a twirl, and said, "Now, have you been a good, good girl? Have you had much spanking since you were me? And does it feel fine to be 23?" I kissed me then, and I said farewell, for I've earned more spanks than I dared to tell. And 8 must never see 23 as she peeps through the door of memory. End of section 69. Section 70, from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. The Fairies' Fair. Who's that dancing on the moonlit air, heel-toe tapping, toe-heel rapping? Oberon opening the fairies' fair to jig away sorrow on the grave of care. Come along, old folk, cold folk, bold folk. Drop your shears at the midnight stroke. Elves are crying, who'll come buying jugs of joy from a fairy's cloak? Mob is sitting on a silver shoe, bright eyes laughing, light lips quaffing, airy bubbles from a cup of dew. Her bracelets tinkle with delights for you. Come along, tall folk, small folk, all folk. Race the stream where the fat frogs croak. Buy a bobbin, there goes Robin, tying time to a daisy's yoke. What's for sale at the fairies' fair? Tiny trumpets, nuts and crumpets, gossamer gowns that the spiders wear, and wee red ribbons from the poppy's hair. Come, buy a moonbeam, slender, tender, posset pans or a witch's spur, pixie packets, goblin jackets, stifling age in their elfin fur. All you pay is a dream or two, fancies reeling, toe and heeling. Purchase the pleasures that the fairies woo, for none want money as the gray folk do. Come for the wee wear, free wear, glee wear, holiday smiles in your loosened hair. Take your fiddle, trip the middle, buy back youth at the fairies' fair. End of section 70.
Section 71, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Pain 1. Alice, I called, for she was moaning there, across the ward, and in her trembling hands she hid her little face of woe. I called, she would not heed. Her sobbing wrung my heart, and so I rose and groped across the floor, and lifted from her tear-wet face her sad and silken hair, and tried to comfort her. She murmured, "Go away." But from the sheets I drew her hand reluctant into mine, and bathed it with my tears as hot they fell. "Did you love him?" I said. "Talk if you can." She muffled up her mouth and said no word, but her hand warmed in mine, and through its skin I felt her young blood cry in memory. I kissed her cheek and blindly sought my bed. 2. Mother of God, the pangs again! Put out my life, stop up my cries with death. I would be quiet, I would be so still, repentant, humble, if— Ah, God, the pangs! There is a table in the surgery. I saw it when I passed, and near a nurse, cool-handed, meek of mouth, she looked at me with tender pity. Oh God, I fear if I should die, and this small life I wronged be left still wronged, to live a loveless life, unmothered and unfathered too. Oh God, put out 2 lives. I must scream, Christ forgive. I can hear footsteps in the ward, lights gleam. They're coming. I will lie upon the bed where Alice died today. She left her child, a dimpled boy with hazel eyes like hers. Nearer they come. What's happening in the world? Where's he who said he loved me? Oh, my God, where's my mother and my— Not a friend. How cold it is. My lips bleed agony. They're here. They help me up and bear me through the desolate long room. My own nails in my palms, despised, deserted, on my cross I crawl. Scream now unafeared, they say. I scream and scream. 3. Black monsters, large of limb and horrible, in shape crowded the room. Some crawled about the ceiling, and some sat upon my feet. Heavy with horror, both my hands were huge, monstrous of palm. My head was big as worlds, and down my back sharp knives cut flesh and bone. I was alone in a wild misery, and like a mournful bird my dead child wailed above the dark delirium again. Again its fingers clutched my milkless breasts, and its small feet ran madly through my heart. Its little fists beat at my brain for life. Oh, how it cried! I could not ease its pain, or go to it. Chill weights pressed on my brow. 4. I cannot weep. No one has come to me. I sit upon a chair and watch the sun. My hands are white like wax. My feet are cold, though it is summer and the garden glows. Alice's boy is crowing in his cot. I wonder if she knows. I wonder where he is who loved her. If he thinks or cares. The boy has not the mouth that Alice had. My child is all alone, like me, and cold. Under the ground. Do they put babies deep? She was so tiny. All the earth, I think, would be too kind to crush her little head. I never saw her face, like him or me. She will never ever know but God. She cried, but I forget. Her little foot against my thigh felt cold. Her hands, they said, were blue. I never meant to do her any harm. She may have hungered, or I had to work. I should have slept for her sake those long nights of waking agony. I did not know. Alice's boy is laughing at the nurse. She brings him down to me. The doctor calls. She drops him in my lap. How small, how sweet. I smile. I kiss his little hands and weep. End of section 71.
Section 72 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. April Laughter. April is blowing her bubbles of blue o'er coverts of daisies all dappled with dew, and wily wind elves, as they pelt her with play, sing hi, hilly ho, it's a very fine day. So ho for the maiden with lily love laden, who's decking herself in a dimity gown with touches of pearl on her orange wreath crown that cuddles her tresses of wallflower brown. The cream's in the cup and the candies are cut in tiny pink piles in the honeymoon hut, where time has a tub of caresses to drink, and every white minute a chuckle to clink. And ho for the lover she soon will discover, when noon, nodding over her goblet of sun, wakes up with a wink at the sound of the fun, to drown in the dusk ere the frolic be done. Oh, I am the maiden, and you are the boy. Our wedding bells ring in the attic of joy, where youth takes a kiss 'neath a lattice of love, from beauty and innocence meek as a dove. Then ho for the laughter that rings to the rafter, as over the ridge of our kisses we ride, and, tingling with mirth of the oncoming tide, we slip into Eden to sleep side by side. End of section 72.
Section 73 of Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. The Poet's Garden. When in the long lagoons of slumber sink the tired flocks of men surrounding me, on naked feet I walk the lilac brink of my own memory. And, in an alley of the hanging air, dim blossoms of a garden softly swing, love lyrics, happy odes, and sonnets fair, through my imagining. I lean my cheek upon the garden rail, tasting the fragrance of that company, who through the ferny aisles and angles trail white immortality. Odorous daisies from far milky meads waft o'er my wall the innocence of truth, and from a pool asway with rhyming reeds I breathe eternal youth. Oh, haply in some velvet noon of night a glimmering hand flower full will soft unclose, and slipping through the silence filmy light drop on my heart a rose. End of section 73.
Section 74 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. The Rainbow. Down in the garden the rainbow is spinning little loose bobbins of beryl and blue. Creamy white fairies their curls are unpinning, shaking pink pinafores woven of dew. Hurry up, little girls, hurry up, little boys, and catch the big bow with its lapful of toys, where Puck and his pixies are clinging and flinging pale pearly white bells from their fingers and toes, their round little toes, and when the breeze blows, it's only the children who hear the bells swinging, high ringing and singing, as all the world knows. Get out your bucket and put on your bonnet, quick, or the little blue bobbins will go. Dig up the gold with the roses upon it, hiding in heaps at the end of the bow. Hurry up, little girls, hurry up, little boys, you'll miss the bow bending with junkets of joys, where Mob and her maidens are tripping and dipping on tiny green slippers like slim little girls, like rosy white girls, all ribbons and curls, that over the lavender beaches are skipping, are flipping and tipping, all bubbles and pearls. End of section 74.
Section 75, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Fortune. Dame Fortune's a jade with a fanciful horn, of silver ambitions she warms into flame, with pearls for the princes and tears night and morn for poor little poets who fluttered for fame, who smile when she sings as she dances along. Come, woo me with courage and delicate song. I followed her once, but she wearied me soon. All careless was I of her roseate quest. I built a dream house where the stars were in tune, and slipped into silence and exquisite rest. But she, like her sex when her passion seemed cold, ran hither and offered me all of her gold. I went to the door and I looked at her ware, of agate and amber and cool chrysolite. I shook my wise head with a holiday air, and bade her good day in a daring delight. For I am a fool, and my fortune is made. I care not a fig for a crown or a spade. I dwell with the elves neath the odorous sky, the dews of the dawn brush my gables with glee, and moonlights and sunlights and lovers pass by, all humming this song as they peep upon me. Hi ho for the fool who can pity all pelf, and finds in his bliss that his fortune's himself. End of section 75. Section 76, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Holiday Humor. Life grows too circumspect. Let's play prevail. Put back the clock of time to half-past age, and fly with youth from old convention's cage, to swing with nonsense where her toy boats sail. Oh, drop the cloak of thought, and, in a gale of gladness, whirl me over reason's stage, past sense and logic's pallid heritage, to dance, fun-frolicked, through a daisy dale. Dear love, my hands are laughter linked in thine. The moonlight marries us to maddest mirth, and Folly's weaving us her youngest hour, to bind our spirits in a mesh divine. A wreath of play, a kiss, a bed of earth, and love and life are simple as a flower. End of section 76. Section 77. Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. Read by Caveat. To a favourite poet. I have been reading verses that you wrote in mornings long ago. Their fragrant thoughts and petalled fancies float, like music sweet and slow. I see your fairies and your white nymphs play beneath the olive trees, your southern Venus thridding through the bay with white and naked knees. Smooth satin speeches from the stanzas speak intoxicating me. Some lyric running in a pebbled creek mixes a melody. And there are maidens murmuring along, with moonlight in their hair. Loose laughter dimples with our own white song, and sunny chords of air. And often coupled with the clash of steel, I hear a rumbling drum, as drawn sonorous through the mighty peal, long thoughts of thunder hum. I have been reading verses that you wrote, and all the pages through, in scented simile and singing note, I find the soul of you. End of section 77.
Section 78, from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. In a Garden. In this old garden where I walk, laughter and tears I find. Pursue me, and in silence talk sweet memories in my mind. Here are red roses dropping blood, I see Adonis fly, and I hear from every crimson bud warm Cytherea sigh. And there are lilies lost in thought, whose leaves divinely grieve, as in each chalice closely caught I mark the tears of Eve. I move along from flower to flower, and pluck them wonderingly, when sunset chimes the golden hour of twilight's reverie. I twine the lily and the rose with sprays of milky May, and violets whose odor flows fresh from the Appian way. A sigh breaks from the ruby rose, I hear a step all light ring rapture where the evening glows upon the heart of night. It nears, and from the garden spring delicious dreams and true. I stand in Eden marveling, yet knowing it is you. I pause, I wait, the minutes die and drop out one by one. Your step, film-footed, falters by, as it has ever done. Blind-eyed with tears, the shadows crowd upon my helpless head. I make the flowers my bridal shroud. Joy lives, and yet is dead. The mirthful stars spin bliss above. I weep in agony, weaving the pall of hopeless love here in Gethsemane. End of section 78. Section 79, from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. Girl Gladness. It's holiday time on the hollyhock hills, and I wish you would come with me, laddie love, now. The butterfly bells from the folly fool rills will ring if you listen and drop on your brow. So dear, come along, I've a kiss and a song, and I know where the fairies are forging a gong to ring up the elves to a festival fair of snippets of sunshine and apples of air. Oh, laddie, my laddie, quick, run out of school, and away with a shout and a shake of the head. I'll pick you a pearl from the pigeon-pink pool where cuddles and kisses are going to bed. Away, come away to the land of the Fae, for the afternoon tinkles your lassie love's lay, Play truant with time, and while age is asleep, I'll give you the heart of my girlhood to keep. End of section 79. Section 80 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. If I Were a Poet. If I were a poet and you were a prince, and nothing much mattered but song, oh, wouldn't we make the old moralists mince and hustle the prelates along? But you are the poet, and I'm but a maid. Your fancy flings laughter and rhyme. And how shall our bills and our lodging be paid when love is the prince all the time? End of section 80.
Section 81, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Grief. Night in her caravan as black as death came to my chamber saying, "Follow me," shut off the clamour of my startled breath, led me, red-eyed, into eternity. O grief, I died upon thy stinging lips, feeling the tempest of my soul arise, fronting the heavens as a ship that dips, cabled and cargoed with a freight of sighs. God sat there spinning in a silent place, watching me walk the bitter past again, wrinkled the blossom of my fair young face, bruised were my eyes with many stings of pain. O woman that I made so very fair, the passion of his voice chained me to earth. Why hast thou crouched so constantly with care, battered thy body for a meed of mirth? Answered I naught, O God, my very God, how I have sinned! My body is a pool, white as sweet wine, where multitudes have trod, sipping the cup and calling me poor fool. And in the morning of a splendid day, love came unnoticed through the moving throng, mouthed like a rose with eyes of holy grey, chanting the burden of an old sweet song. God, O my God, I heard him knock in vain. How could I listen to a strain so dear? Grief drowns my longings in a moaning rain, leaves me alone with darkness and my fear. End of section 81. Section 82, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Thou shalt not. Woman, pausing on the marble stair, come down one, come down two. Death is creaking through the doors of air, and a red, red knife for you. Woman, lying on the gleaming floor, warm the blade, cold your skin. Love's a madman when he loves no more, and a heart is hot with sin. End of section 82.
Section 83 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. The Open Air. Sing, sing, sweet air, your mighty music spill upon the songless ground that circles me around, and roaring, pouring, with tumultuous thrill, hurl harmonies from heaven's deep till cataracts of rhythm sweep, and madly, gladly lift my spirit up, o'er snowy mountain height, or slumberous clouds of night, to drink immortal draughts of nature's cup. Sing, sing, and in a magic ring whirl moon and star, or leap and fling the yellow sunlights on the leaf, and laughter at the feet of grief. Fill up the lily leaves with mirth, the larkspur light to happy birth, and sweetly, fleetly, round the rosy sun, trill of your lilting life that's ne'er done. O veil of God, O clear felicity, your crystal dews of joy my silent senses cloy. Your gleaming, streaming lights of liberty dissolve their beings into mine, and clinging mists that round you twine, flood, lipping, dipping me in deeps of truth, with myriad-minded trees, from bowls of beryl breeze, I sip the soul of everlasting youth. O innocence of ample air, ambrosially moist and fair, translucent flow your springs of light through dancing day and nodding night, and palely pure your starlight streams, delicious meads of musing dreams that lightly, whitely ripple land and sea with balm of beauty and cool chastity. Ocean of life, wine of eternity, you bubble to the brink of every hope I drink, and leaping, sweeping in an ecstasy, billow with bliss the ant and midge, the midnight moon and rainbow ridge, and glowing, flowing in an endless flight, gather the spacious sun, the stars and tides in one, while death herself dies, drunk with your delight. Sing, sing, sweet air, your breath remains in vapor, cloud, or opal rains, and, drowned in you, my love and I, beneath the blossom of the sky, float on like souls to paradise, meeting in yours the Maker's eyes, that purely, surely, through your stainless sea, harbor the gleam of immortality. End of section 83.
Section 84. Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. The Birthday of the Dead. Where'er I turn tonight, I see a child with brown and ribboned hair, smiling soft-eyed at me as once I smiled, as fair as I was fair. Her little hands are plaiting flowers and ferns, her tiny feet are crossed. Sometimes she sings, and through her carol burns the youth that I have lost. I know her grave is green upon the hill, she died in infancy, and yet how pensive and how very still she sits and smiles at me. I'll say this time next year she'd have been 9, had earth not been her bed. Her little years increase and bloom with mine. Ah, how can she be dead? End of section 84. Section 85. Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Only Sir Galahad. What time the embers of heroic men flamed to the pallid peaks of paradise, I, waiting at Mishpat, saw again the grail of God's most holy sacrifice. Through blazing arrows of the dim red morn, faint with the fragrance of the lips of Christ, it floated forward like a star new born, and lo, I followed, for the scent sufficed. O'er dumb-tongued battlefields it upward sailed, pulsed with the passion of a maiden vow, and gleamed where poppies airily unveiled, bloomed in the skulls of souls forgotten now, bloomed in the valley where the Anzacs sleep, 'neath scented coppices of deep content, in khaki shrouds which holy angels keep, sacred for drapings of Jehovah's tent. And in the even measure of the dust I felt the ticking of a hero heart, deathless, immortal in the grave of rust, under the crosses in the sands apart. These are your monuments, beloved dead, these but the vassal vaults of liberty. Let not your kinsmen move your narrow bed, let not some stranger stir their sanctity. Mounting the amber of the higher air, now like an acolyte it drifted by, onwards o'er Tuscany through meadows fair, forth to Louvain I heard a woman cry. Through Flanders filmily it led me on, where hope hid cowed in every tangled lane. Art Leia raped, her chastity was gone, slain in the futile carnages of pain. And, as in centuries of long ago, Rollo the Red scoured down with Viking shouts, leaving the cities in a smoke of woe, reeking with relics of his red-eyed routs. So in the avenues with blood imbrued, stained with its vengeances, the Teuton sword swung in remembrance and in wrath pursued shades of the slaughtered children of the Lord. Late on the hill heart all immortal day gathered her lilies with a smile sublime, breathed through her dimpled lips her soul away, fainted the flying feet of eventide. Light as a falconet the evening star slipped through the fingers of the dewy night. floating in the joyance down the clouds afar, tipping the chalice with an incense white. But none save mothers with their babes abreast, pouring devotion through their sleepless eyes, flecked with the reflection of the radiant west, saw the bright grail an instant in the skies. None but some soldier dying in his woe, facing the blinding battlements of death, softened and smiling pity for his foe, felt the pure glory of the Saviour's breath. Then on to Calvary it soared and stayed. There too I waited while the world roared red, bloodied with battle and with pain decayed, heaped to the summit with its piles of dead. Friends, drink, I cried, the cup of your relief. They heeded not, but shattered hill and vale, till Christ bent down and whispered through his grief, still none but thee has found my holy grail. End of section 85.
Section 86 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. The Triumph of Eve. At daybreak, holding heaven in my hands, I pace above the pleats of ivory sands, and, standing where the sky and mountain mist kiss in cool curves of blue and amethyst, I see the tide break at my breathing feet, and winds leap laughter as they backward beat. One speck of matter on the heaving heights, I, mingling with the measureless young lights, woman, world breeder, called by man the fair, drink deep the holy nectar of the air. I drink and drink till through all my veins I feel electric currents of pure ether steal. My throat throbs fire, my small breasts, round and white, breathe milky mysteries of new delight, and sudden in my womb the life of man tugs like a cloud before the tempest's van. O thou Creator, who in aeons past pulsed from thy power the love that leads at last, how do I feel, though mean I am and small, some of the joy with which thy thought let fall? Courage for clay through semitones of sound, welling some part of thee through all the ground. Yesterday, Lord, many years it seems, I was a blossom maid, a thing of dreams, who decked my body for my love's fond feast, and laughed to please him as his joy increased. His was I yesterday, his all alone. Now I am his, and thine, and yet my own, doing thy task, filled with the force of him, and heaped with heaven to my body's brim. How may I check my thoughts that rise to thee? I, woman, guardian of thy Trinity. Praise be to thee from whom all mercies flow, oozing o'er me the cool creative glow, till eyes and hands, loose lips and fragrant hair gather the lustre that thy chosen share. Dust are my loins and dust my muffled womb, fettered with phantoms of the ghastly tomb. Clay are my limbs, from clay thou madest them all, warm clay to colder clay at last to fall. Dust is my shell, but that which leaps within cuts off the passage of the wave of sin, living and breathing as I live and breathe, growing and loving as I love and wreathe garlands and fabrics for its dainty head. In this, my child, I never can be dead. In this, my child, unborn within me yet, never canst thou be absent or forget. Never wilt thou, who breedest thy worlds through me, alter the motion of eternity. I watch the dawn in travail for the day that, turquoise tinctured, lies along the bay, and, stretching up my hands to thy wide skies, I feel creation out of chaos rise. As on the dawn of that tumultuous morn, when leaf and flower and crystal brook and thorn leapt at thy thought, till all the vapors whirled, roses and asphodel and lightly furled filigreed fern that hid the embryon wing of warmer life that yet should soar and sing. I pause and mark thy pregnant creatures walk, the grassy cloisters where the young birds talk, and each, like me, is filled with miracle, holding the life germ in a single cell. I watch them creeping, crawling, flitting by, insect and busy worm and gauze-winged fly, until my blood leaps laughing to a pain, to feel my love, my being cloy again. O wedded bliss, he kissed me on the mouth, his meeting breasts warm, warmer than the south, leaned on my own, and, while we clung and kissed, flowed over us a stinging dew-like mist. His skin was scented and white as milk, his hair half humid like a cloud of silk, mixed with my own and sensuous with power. His breath was all about me like a flower. My arms were round him, and his hands held me close, close. We pressed in bosomed ecstasy, till fainting, melting with the joy we lay. I he I, and thou, O Lord, that day, so near us both, I knew that thou wast there, weaving thy wonders through our bodies fair. Lord, Lord, thou wast, O God, upon the day when I conceived, I had a vision gray. White worlds were torn by rude corruption's claw, and war crammed horror down its bloody maw. The stars were out, the moon had turned to blood, and all the rivers of revenge ran flood. I stood upon this hill, while heathen hordes rushed up, red-fanged with long and slimy swords. Death led them on, and, as they swept to me, destruction ripped the throat of liberty. But through the hosts methought I saw full strong my own dear love press headlong in the throng, striving to reach me, though the conflict he fell, closed firm about him with the hooks of hell. Pulsed to the soul with some impassioned power, I felt strange glory in that wondrous hour. My will forsoared, I faced them from the height. Though dark it was and hideous in night, they came, they quailed, they shriveled at my strength, and as the ranks wheeled on in awful length, that sword of me become the hellish strife, and in my arms I clasped my love, my life. He knelt to me, he pressed me close to him, he touched my breasts, and all my sense was dim. I am thy servant and thy king, said he, worshipping thee through God, and him through thee. Air is less delicate than thou to me, lilies less fragrant than thy chastity. The soft gold glory of thy wedded skin is lovelier than stars that swing and spin in measured manner through the hemispheres, lighting the splendor of thy falling tears. Oh, then methought I kissed his gleaming eyes, lifting my voice in loftiest surprise. Is this our hill, or are we two in heaven, talking together with the angels seven? His eyes looked brimming magic into mine, as eyes of saints above a holy shrine. Agents of heaven, O Lord, at thine own will, we swooned together kissing on the hill, feeding our souls and bodies eagerly, deep in deliciousness of unity. Lying enraptured with each other there, ravished with ecstasy I seemed to share all wonders of thy mount of Horeb high, and hear thyself along the hilltops cry, my judgment throne shall be the noon of day, and life shall blossom from the fallowed clay. 'Twas but a vision. Oh, the life of man is bliss too perfect for our minds to span, yet deep in me the rapture lies in wait to pour out Eden at an earthly gate. End of section 86. Section 87 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. Outside the Gate. He has gone home to her. I must not weep, he says. But oh, it rains and rains upon the road and street, and all the grass is cold. He has gone home to her, and she will climb about his knee deliciously, and kiss his soft melodious mouth, and talk to him of all the things he did this long white day. He'll hear her children from their bedroom breathe, and, looking up from the bright fire, she'll say, "This little one made 2 short steps today, and that took down a book and tried to read." This is their house. The lights glow red within. I must not go too near, lest I should smell the fire, the carpets, and the scented rug, which fondly warms her little slippered foot. If I might rest my cheek upon the gate, his gate, or touch the latch and creep away, I dare not, for the click would make her rise, and, moving to the casement, she would drop a dear warm tear upon the pane and say, How cold that poor lost woman is outside. End of section 87. Section 88 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. Sonnets of the South 1. Ah, how I love to kiss the hair that lies across the smooth contentment of your brow, to meet our mouths and make the happy vow that mirrors all its promise in our eyes. I love you. How that sweet submission cries out of my heart and lifts me even now into chaste ecstasy. Ah, love, I bow unto my master, and the tempest dies. What am I but a little willing slave, drinking my life from out your strong brown hand, as blossoms sip the sun that gives them light, from the round palm of God with faces grave? Love, loose my fragrant tresses strand by strand. I'd be a flower and scent you all the night. End of section 88. Section 89 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. Sonnets of the South 2. The melting music of your voice floods me, as summer passion floods the startled rose that through my lattice window slightly blows some perfume of the pools of Arcady. Love, drown me in its wondrous harmony. Breathe on my brows, my fainting eyelids close, till o'er the chalice of my longing flows naught but the nectar of its melody. Beloved, sound the chords and depths of me, press on my soul the seal of your desire. Oh, bind our lives with such immortal love, God hears it singing through eternity, and, stooping from his cloud-clad cherub choir, sets to its pulse the swinging stars above. End of section 89. Section 90 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. Sonnets of the South 3. I had not dreamed that life could be so fair until you kissed its meaning into me and sent my soul along its airy lea to find a sudden beauty everywhere. Make me a couch of grass, love, green and rare, a pansy pillow frilled with rosemary, and be your face the only light I see through the dark curtain of my falling hair. So shall the wandering winds that come our way pause as they pass and tiptoe overhead, fearing to stir the stream of dewy sleep that loops our lives and holds our souls in sway. And if death comes with sad and pensive tread, we shall not hear the tears his angels weep. End of section 90. Section 91 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. Sonnets of the South 4. Sweet soul, forgive me if a mood of mine has seemed to chill the warm room of your heart, where love sat smiling at her web apart, weaving my being into yours divine. Lean through the dark, your eyes with love ashine, making my own with yearning rapture smart. Kiss me again. Ah, I shall never start out of your arms breaking their fierce entwine. Oh, how my throat throbs at the very thought of your dear lips lying upon my own. Come closer, O beloved, closer still, till life is death and worlds and heavens naught. We two upon this planet, pale, alone, stemming eternity at love's wild will. End of section 91. Section 92 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. Sonnets of the South 5. I was a little cageling life had held tight before you came and set me free, and made me soar above the narrow little glade of circumstance and self on wings of light. Dear heart, you touched my soul that trembling night. I dipped my body in the love you laid against my heart. Ah, God, had I but stayed, I might have died of love. Sweet, what delight! And now I live, and the great crown of fire you gave me in the circlet of a kiss scents all my lustrous life. I dream, I wait. The luminous long day faints with desire. So I, beloved, in an anguished bliss. Ah, cage me in your heart and lock the gate. End of section 92. Section 93, from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. Sonnets of the South 6. Beloved, if I thread my tears for you like crystal jewels on a chain of fire, 'tis that I love too deeply for desire, too frankly and too well to be less true. Nay, let them dim again my eyes' calm blue, like fountains of pure feeling that inspire all that is small in me to swift transpire and lose itself where souls their Maker woo. Love, take me to your heart, I need you so. Oh, let the flooding river of my tears over the tempest of our passions roll, till the clear stream, with life of love aglow, sweeps like slow music from the higher spheres, safe to the brimming ocean of your soul. End of section 93.
Section 94, The Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. The Ragnarok of Regeneration. Valhalla rang with mirth, loud, clear, and long. The harp of Bragi thrilled the feasters there, and from the hanging horns rich streams of song echoed the eager magic of his air, majestically moving white and fair. The tall Valkyries for the heroes poured meads of delight and everlasting fare that heaped the panels of the pictured board, and lay upon the plates mid spear and axe and sword. Deep gorged the gods, and down the golden floors the shields of silver from the rafters flung, phantoms of battle, while the trophied doors creaked with the freighted treasure that they swung. Long thundered Thor, and as his trumpet tongue boomed to the ceiling with his tales of might, the hand-loped Tyr from depths of torture wrung the awful horror of the Fenris fight, till the red room was filled with memories of affright. Throned on his chair above the mighty feast, full hearing there the ribald deeds of all, how beast made conquest of his brother beast, Odin sat silent in the banquet hall. His wolves were buried in his long blue pall, his ravens slept upon his arm like stone, and over them he let his vision fall, from turquoise turrets of his starry zone, north, south, east, west, to Midgard's murk and Hel's dark throne. He saw the Viking wallowing in blood, and Loke, the loathsome, straining at his chain. He saw the serpent and the venomed flood, or mortal agony beneath it reign, and down the labyrinth of souls unslain, where the gaunt Garm paced steadily and sure, his large blue eyes beyond the plains of pain, through dreadful torment that the dead endure, on Balder fell, the good, the beautiful, the pure. Odin arose, and as the heroes sang of everlasting strife, he, restless, strode his pearly platform till his footsteps rang like fire along the lofty long abode. They heeded not, but Heimdall, where he rode, down Bifrost shuddered, and in Frigga's room the spinning maidens from their fingers flowed fillets of fear, and the white Norns of doom tangled the patterns of the thread upon their loom. Sudden the cock upon the ramparts screamed, Yggdrasil trembled, and from Odin's stall grey Sleipnir clattered while his bright hooves gleamed. with fiery fury to the feasting hall. Wild terror wrung her red hands over all, fear fathomed to the depths of her own despair, and loud the horn of Heimdall blew the call of Ragnarok, as on the startled air noise mustered noise, and war rang roaring everywhere. Swift Odin buckled on his golden shield, and leaping to their feet and scattering wide, plates, horns, and tankards as they forward wheeled, the gods and heroes gathered to his side, their glowing armour ringing as they cried, "Balder returns!" They hurried like a sea to where the steeds stood ready for the ride, and Odin's daughters, mounting eagerly, forth flared the hosts to Vigrid's dark eternity. Then Balder stirred, and at the gates of hell, deserted now by all the shades, he sprang upon his steed, and like a mellow bell, the golden hoofs across the pavement sang. Higher he mounted, for he heard the clang of splitting spears and thunder thickening night, with roaring tumults as the war cries rang. But ere he reached the field of fatal fight, down, down crashed Bifrost under Rymer's rumbling flight. An instant rising on his horse, he scanned the crumbling battlements and tottering towers, which, as the sun sweat spilling on the land, an opal rain fell like a cloud of flowers. So fall the gods, he murmured, and their powers. But to the clamour of his kin he sped, for Balder, where is Balder? Shot in the showers about his ears, and in a haze of red the doom of Ragnarok flashed on his eyes ahead. Oh, bloody sight! Thick on the right were ranged his father's hosts, and opposite the crowd of giants led by Loke, whose colour changed when Heimdall charged, and moving like a cloud of flame amidst the ranks, his foeman cowed. Now Odin grappled Fenris, Tyr tripped Garm, and as the swell of tumult echoed loud above the armies, 'neath his hairy arm Thor gripped the spitting serpent, fearless of all harm. Hot vapours issued from each panting side, infuriated hate and anger dashed good from the path, and, raging far and wide, through the red strife the swords of vengeance gashed. Delight, madly the gods of courage clashed, sword, spear, and javelin through shame and sin, but, belching agony, the hell hordes plashed, venom of vile destruction, while the din of thousand-throated battle volleyed chaos in. In anguish Balder watched, and hearing, high above the roar of thrice accursed fire, the moans of women and the dying cry of Heimdall calling him to help his sire, he shuddered at the horror of the mire. He closed his eyes, and turning terrified of steaming slaughter and perdition dire, fled from the flames, and at the first great stride old Odin groaned and sank upon his face and died. But Balder galloped on, though as he went he heard the clashing cataracts of spears, swift falling through the splitting firmament, and over all came hammering in his ears the call to him of myriads in their tears. He turned not, neither did he stoop his crest, but shouted to the ear of other spheres, "Lost are the fairest, noblest, purest, best. Earth has no habitation wherein truth may rest." Long years he rode, then sudden on his sight the glittering walls of Gimli lit the west, where fragrant spirits multiplied by light slept on the air in co-eternal rest. A scent of song his breathing nostrils blessed. He felt the rapture of his mother's kiss, and like a flood of fire about his breast his soul outpoured, and nothing now remiss, he lighted at the gates, enamoured of their bliss. "Here dwell the resurrected gods," he said, "my father Odin and blind Hoder too. Here youth and beauty all their treasure spread. Open, good gods, and let me in with you." But gravely mantled in a cloak of blue, a strange sweet presence to his calling came, and like to all his weary memory knew, low Balder sank upon his knees in shame, not knowing him or how to speak his holy name. "O you," the presence said, "who fled the world, look back on that from whence you sped so fast. I had as lief you stayed, and madly hurled death on yourself, as left it so aghast." So Balder turned and saw a conflict vast, a wilder war than ever Odin waged, on Fenris brawling with a screaming blast, for human food, which, as it gorged and raged, innumerable nations in their arms engaged. Pernicious powers, encumbered with hot hate, marshalled their awful armies rank by rank. Rage rattled through the world her fiery freight, and dreadful murder all sweet beauty drank in horrid order on the western flank. the booming cannon's bellowing chorus fell. They yawned destruction till creation stank with festering carcasses that knew no knell, save million-mouthed disaster, frothing yell on yell. Great Balder groaned with pain, but stricken gazed upon the wheeling companies whose force flamed with hot lust o'er sea and mountains blazed, and tore tempestuous anger from her source. Wrath ruled, and pouring in discordant course, stone, steel, and massive missiles spitting fire, stupendous engines wore their echoes hoarse, while the wild air whirled thick with wings of ire, and on the sea slick treason seemed of rape to tire. I will go back, moaned Balder, unto these. The world is smoking red with butchery. Voluptuous vice in dissipated ease sits on the knee of gibbering idiocy, and swinish flocks, full fed with luxury, loll in the lap of leisure, thoughtless eyed. I will return with love and liberty. The good and beautiful in faith, he cried, shall make a newer world by reason purified. But soft the present smiled and shook his head. Come in, he said, for they themselves will rise, on wings omnipotent by pure love led, through their true selves to you and paradise. Long Balder stared, then sudden in his eyes he knew the master on whose neck he cried, and as he clung to him the startled sighs of those infernal furies waned and died, and man, by God in man, to God rose glorified. End of section 94.
Section 95 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. Wedded. The seas of paradise around me flood. I feel their torrents leaping through my blood. Melt on my mouth. Who spoke of death? Ah me, this is the margin of eternity. The drops of day fall on my fainting eyes. The dew of sleep throbs to my head and dies. I am the vineyard and you are my Lord. Death cannot touch us with her scarlet sword. Gather the grapes that cluster round my soul. Drink at the milky fountains as they roll over the valleys that my being shrines. Feed as a heart among the mountain pines. My body is no more, it swoons to air from the close sepulchre of one mute prayer. Red the abundant blossoms of the sun that fire our couch and languish one by one. You are a flock of doves that round me float, beating your pinions on my perfumed throat. Your lips are as a hive of bees that fly, moist winged and swift to drink the lilies dry. Here in the ecstasy of life I rest. The doves and bees sleep on my quiet breast. Ah God, such rapture running through my brain trembles my body back to breathe again. Cold fanged and crimson flanked, death passes by. Some clod of clay crumbles at every sigh. What should we fear? The full rich day we know shall fail not of its tender afterglow. End of section 95. Section 96 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. The Bridal Ode. Soft sped the last and lonely night of my unshadowed maidenhood, as youngest stars shed amber light along the wood, and through the moon's wind-loosened hair small dulcet voices round and sweet made mellow music on the air of joy complete. When, drowsed with ecstasies of dream, beside my bridal veil I spied great Sappho standing in the gleam of still star-tide, and, by her eyes of love and power, she offered me a favor fair, the golden blossom of an hour to have and wear. "Oh, sing," I said, "an ode for me, of trembling vows and kisses fine, to match the tender witchery of longings mine. Sing of the folded bliss that lies in miracles of married rest, where sense that aches for gladness dies to reach love's best. Oh, take my soul for your lost lyre, and from its chords a music sweep, to tell my love my true desire in notes that leap like flame of all my being drawn to him surrendering full deep the perfect passion's waking dawn from virgin sleep. She touched my bridal veil and smiled, as, kissing with her fingertips the orange wreath upon it piled, she moved her lips. Her singing speech fell faint and low, and round my heart wild rapture flung. Ah, girl, if you but love him so, my ode is sung. End of section 96.
Section 97. Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Night Ride. Faster speed we through the bracken, catch me closer to your heart, clench the reins before they slacken, lest the frightened fillies start. Oh, the blazing pennons whirling, ruby jewels on the grass, and the burnished blossoms curling into phantoms as we pass. Down the slender tongue of tracking let her fly, she cannot trip. Back of us we hear the cracking of the scarlet stockman's whip. He is rounding up his cattle, fiery steers and steeds of gold, crimson stallions hear them rattle, through the forest, fold on fold. He is groaning with his plunder, turn her quickly to the creek. Though his feet be swift as thunder, we shall hear his angry shriek, as we gallop helter-skelter through the cool and plashing tide, to the land of peace and shelter on the safe and southern side. On he follows, nearer, nearer, ring his brumbies' brazen feet, clipping, clopping, clearer, clearer, death's the fire we must defeat. Keep your lips on mine, my darling, let the flame flowers lick my hair. Love can brook the angry snarling of their passionate despair. Cross the creek he cannot follow, love will ever conquer all. Down we canter through the hollows, safe at last from scathe and fall. Thus I fancied we were speeding all night long with love's control, from our passion and its pleading, to the safety of our soul. End of section 97.
Section 98 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. In No Woman's Land. His head was on his arms, and they, like it, were still. His brave brown eyes, no longer lit with passionate pure fire, fluttered in death, and a faint mist mixed with his parting breath. The young moon came. She moved in folds of light across the blood-red fields, and through the night he heard the shadow of her white feet glide like music in a dream. She sought his side. Upon her milk-white breast she took his head and kissed his mouth. "My love," his cold lips said, and with her loose, sweet hair she shrouded all his limbs. He smiled. He died. White gleamed his pall. End of section 98. Section 99 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. Spring. E-O, E-O, Evo hey oh, the wine of spring is in the air, with leaves of laughter in their hair. The merry, mad, young maenads blow their glad pipes everywhere. The lord of youth his thesaurus swings above his round and jolly head, as riding on a heifer red, with flowery horns and flanks, he springs across the river bed. He leads a jocund company of prancing kids and dimpled girls, whose whirling arms and flying curls and feet afire with dancing glee are ripe for revelry. They follow on. E-O, E-O! They leap his heifer's back, limb light, or pinch the silken sides and white of plump young calves that skipping go to browse mid clover snow. And one, more merry than the rest, up jumps and tugs and pulls him down. She rolls with him, all free from frown, amongst the grasses, breast to breast, till others join the jest. They poke him with their pearly thumbs, they tumble him from hand to hand. He, dodging half the joyous band, nips soft in play the first who comes, and all her sweetness plumbs. But doubled up with mirth at last, his hearty laugh rings blithely round. The forest dimples at its sound, with flocks of flowers the bees hold fast, and young birds chirrup past. The wine of spring is in the air. Eo, eo, evohe-o. Drink deep, drink long, the goblets flow with life and joy that scatters care, and youth reigns everywhere. End of section 99. Section 100, from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. The Baby's Bay. As I came down to the shore today, with a tripping toe for a pint of play, I saw swing high where the whitefish ply a silver ship with a poop of gold, with a captain bold and a boatswain old, who shouted, "Ho, if you want to go to a laughing land with a winking way, come along with us to the Baby's Bay." I dropped my age and I climbed on deck. Oh, the boards were bright as a starry speck, and Jack and Jill, with their buckets still, came running down to collect my fare. For a happy heart and a childish air, a smile forsooth from the lips of truth, will procure you a bunk in the silver ship at the sunset hour when she takes her trip. Away we sailed on a sea of pearl, and the boatswain Time made the billows swirl, with heave, heave ho, for a jolly row, and safe return to the good ship's sleep, with her freight of dreams and little Bo Peep, whose tiny fold is the Golden Hold. And the skipper Love sang a song of glee as he steered us along through the nursery sea. And when we got to the Baby's Bay, where the stars spin mirth and the rainbows play, the girls and boys with their rosy toys rang nonsense bells till the moon rang out, till I heard a hush through the pearly rout, a tinkling tap like a fairy's rap, and wee Willie Winkie stilled the bliss at the stroke of 8 with a good-night kiss. End of section 100.
Section 101, Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Gods at Gallipoli. On Lemnos leaned the blossoms of the moon, large as the blooms of fire that lighted Vulcan in his fall at noon from Jove's Olympian choir. And a breeze blew from Mudrus to the beat of old gods' moving feet. Over Samothrace and Imbros rose a sound of lyres sob sorrowing, and up the beaches on the bordering ground it echoed string on string, like the mourned marvel of a deity death danced along the sea. The calm Aegean in her slumber turned, and shook her olden soul. Myrrh and sweet spices in her billows burned, and made an incense bowl. For the fair company whose singing came across the tide aflame, Apollo led them, and the deeps of death from Hellespont complained, where Hero and Leander warmed the breath of the foam starry stained. And fast his flight he took unto the strait of youth's untimely fate. But passing that peninsula of woe that wandered at the gate, he saw white lightnings mystically glow on landings desolate. And 3 tall spirits kept a watch apart, still standing heart to heart. Who trespasses, he said, my hallowed ways, and moved along the beach. Be still, ye flutes, ye pipes, cease, nymphs, your lays. What graves are these that reach so many and so far into the sea? Who may their mourners be? Has Persia poured upon the earth again her young and swarthy hordes? Has Xerxes made all of my shores a fen for his unholy swords? The spirits moaned among the mounds, deep stirred, and a low sob he heard. Apollo wept, and coming to their side, lifted his face of tears. What dost thou here among our dead? They cried, in speech of other spheres. Passing to mourn my own, he softly said, here were my footsteps led. O master mourners, as ye be in truth, I guard the Cyclades, and for the time-clipped souls of love and youth I grieve through all these seas, till Delos sink as swift and wondrously as once she rose for me. But what wild woe has brought ye to my lands? Who lie beneath your feet? O masters, answer, for I feel my hands aching for summer heat. My heart fires crying in remembrance clear, and know that youth is here. Then in a plaintive voice like sighs by night, the eldest sadly spake. Many a bride with tinkling feet and light, where lotus buds awake, feels the sweet marriage vigour strike her blood in warm impassioned flood. But through the melancholy field she sees no hot brown lover glide, with rapturous longing trembling to his knees in the soft eventide. She hears instead my Ganges fuller roll with his slain soldier's soul. Allah has turned the keys, the youngest said, and from the minarets the slow muezzins moving overhead see when the prayer hour sets, palm-lifted multitudes on bended knee, bowed in humility. But 'neath the foldings of their long, loose veils, the widows breathe strange sighs, for the brave dead whose memory assails their dark, reflecting eyes, through small swart boys who follow in their play their red-fezzed father's way. With awful anguish in his palms of pain, the master hid his face. How could he tell the many tears that rain in every Christian place? Wherever blue eyes dimmed or grey woe filled for a young hero killed, he heard the sobbings of the prophets pale, but pausing full in thought, he made no murmur to their gentle wail, nor to Apollo aught. His mind was mirroring the sounds and sights of youth's eclipsed delights. Master, you do not speak, Apollo sighed. Have you no lost ones here? Perchance great sorrow's sepulchres in pride all anguish of a tear. Oh, blow, ye pipes, ye flutes, a mournful strain, and let us on again. Young singer of the ages, stay, he cried. Young lord, be slow to leave. Where youth and beauty slumber side by side, thine is the right to grieve. I died for man, and those who watch with me panged for truth's mastery. Youth, here we meet and find love's little worth in hearts faith bound to ours. All these have fallen levelled to the earth within a few fierce hours. Turks, Gurkha, Christians seeking paradise won in red sacrifice. So let the minstrels of thy pipes play on and sing triumphantly. Light that is everywhere when woe is gone remains in thee, world free, and all these legions lying line on line who saw its gleam are thine. Lights leapt in circles round the masters three, they vanished veiled in space, and young Apollo with his company, all through that tragic place, to lifted lyres and pipes above their bed, mourned his immortal dead. O hells died the bottoms of the moon, faint fell the wandering airs, the lone Aegean made a little croon, like a far-off voice of prayers, and a breeze blew from Suvla to the beat of new gods' marching feet. End of section 101.
Section 102 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. Sonnet 10. And then came Science with her torch red lid and cosmic marvels round her glowing head, the primal cell, the worm, the quadruped, striving to make each to the other fit. Tongue trumpeting her own unchallenged wit, she offered me the woof of wisdom's thread, and truth and purity that hourly tread the paths where sages in their wonder sit. And still I smiled and kissed you with a sob, my lips on yours. I heard, high up above, love's feet ring laughter on the starry sod, and felt the echo through our bosoms throb. Beloved, science ends in our pure love, which shares alone the secrets of our God. End of section 102. Section 103 from Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Elise D. Sonnet 14. Dearest, it seems as if our dreams were all we two shall know of those realities, those trembling gardens and fair flower seas where we might wander from contention's call. For this and that creeps in from rise to fall of our delightings, till eternities seem nearer to us than the lilting breeze that wafts its promise through our nuptial hall. Ah, kiss me o'er and o'er. Live in our dreams, and nothing earthly to that joyance add. So shall we wake and find life fairer far, and drifting down the stilly, airy streams in the loose raiment of our spirits clad, we'll meet the miracle of sun and star. End of section 103.
Section 104. Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. the Sisters of Sorrow. Last of my lot, a woman-seeming man, I crouched where coiling worms made festered feast, and down the avenues of anguish ran the broad battalions of the West and East. Pinned fast in agonies of pendant death, swollen with pain these shards of broken shell, the weight of woe and pity choked my breath, holding me prisoner in a ghastly hell. Stars were shut out, the very angels shrieked, and God himself clapped on his ears his hands. Field mice and frogs moved where the grasses leaked, in bloodier dew than ever stained the sands. And there, amidst the mingled strife of men, I was aware two silent figures stood, alone, unharmed, while from their slimy den the fiends of war claimed human flesh for food. Two nuns were they, with holy eyes devout. The younger hoodless, and her naked head gleamed like a pallid moon above the rout. Where shattered fields lay shrouded with their dead, the elder never took her eyes from her, but calmed each frightened look and pensive sigh. And as her lips made prayers as sweet as myrrh, the hounds of hell went howling madly by. Foam of red fury from their jaws outpoured, and the young sister paled in icy fright. O God, I strained, but tighter grew the cord of pain and death that held me in my plight, till, moved by the immortal dream of love that stirred the swinging pulses of the world and urged my soul to swell to tides above, I, wrenching free, myself to aid her hurled. I woke, silk-sheet, fair damask eiderdown, pearls of pure rose from orient oceans brought, pressed on my arms and throat like a crown. Of fire my hair clung to my brow braid caught, fragrant full it clothed my flower-like breasts, and lo, relumed in an instant in the gleam, I saw beneath the crucifix two guests, the pale sad sisters of my awful dream. I looked, and from the elder's thorn-bruised head the face of Christ smiled faintly over me, making the room where lust had hourly fed breathe the ambrosia of chastity. I wept. I felt the passion tear-rills roll, like drops of blood from wounds where beasts had trod. The Christ had brought me to my own sad soul. Across its gleam I kissed the lips of God. End of section 104.
Section 105. Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Caveat. Poor Fools. 1. Would I could sleep. The prison walls are dark, the pallet hard, and I am sick for rest. Rats gnaw the rafters. I can see them now within the cell, creeping about the floor. Oh God, I have been here 10 twilights since I heard the voice of him who said to me, "You must confess for your own sake or die." I looked at him across the court, a kind old man, with snowy head and wrinkled cheek, and as he spoke I felt the fluttering gasp of women in their seats, and one man moaned. I killed him. I made speech with bloodless lips. Why must I kill him twice to prove my wrong? I cannot take his coarse red neck beneath these hands again and crush his swelling veins until they burst, as I did then. He struck me on the breast, this one, which still is black, and when his hands imprisoned both my arms, crosswise in agony behind my back, I screamed and said I would consent, and he let go. I smiled at him through lips made thick with pain, but his hot breath and rolling tongue steamed lust at me, and all my heart upburst. I had a silver knife upon a chain that dangled from my neck. I smiled again. I smoothed his hair, I kissed his face, I nursed his head, and from the silver chain I took the little knife and opened it and struck him in the neck. This artery I knew just where. Warm blood gushed on my hand. He shrieked and writhed, and I outstruck again. Here, here, till eyes and cheek and ears were slit, and on his soaking sleeve red murder stench of death. I was my mother's dearest only child. I knew him not. I sang a little song, a simple thing, when from the shade he ran out of my father's wood and lifted me, struggling between his arms into the green, dark grove. I killed him, but I cannot say how much of me he killed before I smelt the wet woe of his blood and heard him scream for help. I ceased. They bore me swift away. So I am here, and have said nothing more, nor will I ever speak to tell the truth, to kill his shrieking soul with my bruised soul that bled beneath his butchery. No, no, yet should I not speak out and save my life? What life? I have no life to live, since he, oh, how that jailer's steps rings through my brain. 2. I hang tomorrow, just this night to live. I cannot see the cell for fearful forms, with leering eyes and sockets stuffed with fire. O God, if you are God, stoop, pity me, keep me awake that I may live, live, live. You cannot. They have slipped the noose on me. My heart is stopping, moaning for its life. My loose flesh sags and droops. I gurgle dead. Thud. That is my dead body dropping down. God, hour by hour I hang myself, until from every rafter of my cell I see a dangling body, and the body mine. Where are you, God? Have you forgotten me? I faint, I swoon, I tire. Oh, I could sleep, but let me not, for fear I miss or lose 1 minute of the few that trickle down. Time sick with waiting for the icy last. Mists swim my eyes, my brain is clogged with blood. Each cell of it is red like this, and each a prison, where a body hangs feet down. Oh God, why did I kill him? How he stared! You saw it all. You see all things. Does it amuse you that you say no word, nor raise a hand to help me? Will you smile to see me hanging by tomorrow's hair, or lift the lids of my young eyes and weep? These walls are falling on me. Hold them up. Empty my maddened brain of its affright. Oh, set me free, or chain the soul of him I killed. You cannot. You will let me hang, but stifled in my throat my soul will twist through labyrinths of pain, through heaven and hell, and seek yours out and murder it with his. O God, I must have dreamed. Take for my prayers these tears that drop slow gathered from my eyes. They cannot hang me, who is now all hanged. His soul is quiet and the air quite still. What is a murder? What are death or life? I am a box of clay that empties out, its contents on the bosom of the air. There is no heaven or hell, no right, no wrong, and I am nothing, nothing ever was. I am already one with you and him. And he I killed himself part killed. Poor fools! They will but hang themselves tomorrow morn. End of section 105. End of Songs of Love and Life by Zora Cross.